So, moreover, what we would be starting today is the introduction to the Power BI, what exactly Power BI means, and why only Power BI as a reporting tool in current market. I mean, why not other tools? What are the importance of visualization? First, we will start with what is visualization, what is the need of visualization. Once we get a good idea, then we would go to the visualization tools. Why Power BI only and why not any other tool? Will have a basic difference so that you will get an idea that are we learning a good tool, are we learning the tool which is currently used in the market, and what is the exact use case of this Power BI, what all components are there in Power BI, how Power BI works. So if time permits, we'll also see how we can download that Power BI. Maybe if time permits, we'll go through it today. If not, maybe we'll go through it tomorrow. So just to get started with, a very good morning and warm welcome to KSR Data Vision. So what is the exact idea behind today's session is it's just nothing a introduction to Power BI, and we will see few important concepts, the importance of visualization, how visualization plays an important role, what is analysis, what is business intelligence. So all these processes will have an idea about. Once we get a good understanding, then we would directly jump to the Power BI, what components are. So as I've said, along with Power BI, there are many other tools which are present in the market. I mean, how that tools are different as compared to Power BI, why Power BI is currently leading tool, and how exactly Power BI works. So these are all the important points which we would be going to cover. So just to get started with, we'll have a basic idea. Now, if you see, these are all the snapshots which I've taken from the news websites. I mean, these snapshots are kind of older snapshots, but if you go and visit any specific news website, or maybe you are using your mobile, you are using your Android devices, iOS devices, you get daily notification, news notifications. So how many of you would go back and read that news notification? If there is a notification that so and so event has occurred, so and so important news, breaking news is there. So how many of you would go and read that? If there is no image present in that news or the important breaking which is being highlighted, which is being notified in your mobile, how many of you would end up reading everything from start to end? Would you go back and learn all this? I mean, is it possible to read everything without any visualization being present in that? Rarely anyone will read it from start to end. If you take any example, it might be a breaking news, it might be maybe you are looking at the cricket, maybe any specific sport. So if you're looking at the sport, usually how many balls have been bowled, how many, I mean, which team is having, I mean, which team is batting currently, what is their score, that is what we see. But if you go in depth of it, if there is a live match, usually people prefer going to read out, maybe going to watch that live match as compared to live score. Okay, unless and until if you're driving, unless and until if you're busy with some other work, we rarely skip watching the live match. But if at all you want deep insights, we always end up using visual as a representation. So if you take any example in today's market, or maybe any example in day-to-day life, if the written content is more, individual is not that interested to read that content. If there is a visual, if there is an image, usually our human tendency is we end up looking at that image first, and then we would read whatever information is present. So that is how the importance of visualization, that is how the importance of images, video will come into picture. And it's just a normal human tendency. It is with respect to any individual. If you have a good image, if you have a good video along with whatever information you're trying to read, it is very easy to understand. And human tendencies, we will read it completely only if there is an information given without any image. It is very difficult for us. You may not read the first 5 lines also, because everything is in written content. So that is how the importance of visual, that is how the importance of images plays an important. I mean, in day-to-day life, if you feel that image, video will help you to understand anything, it is very easy to understand. It is very easy to grasp as well. Now let's take our own example only. I'm trying to dictate all this information. Now, if I would have not shared my screen, half of the people will go away. I mean, that is the normal human tendency, because I'm trying to share my scene. I'm trying to give you an information that this is what I'm trying to explain. This is what the information is. I'm trying to share few images. I'm trying to share few videos also. So that will help us to understand what I'm trying to speak, what I'm trying to give you an idea about. So that's how the importance of visualization plays an important role in day-to-day life. And for any specific human being, visualization is very, very important. Now, the same concept, if this is, if you look at the above three pictures, and if you look at the below picture, most of you, if you compare all four conditions, most of you will end up reading the below image because it looks like a kind of table format. The information is correctly structured. It looks like maybe a rand. You cannot call it as a visual also, but yeah, somewhere the information is clearly structured. And if you compare all four conditions, the first three news articles and the below table, 99% of the people will end up reading the below table first because it is very easy to understand. I mean, that's how the importance, that's how the images play an important role, or maybe that's how the filtered information play an important role. Now, image accepted, video accepted, but how filtering of information will also have an impact. Because see, if you take a look at these news articles, you have to click on that news article, you have to read it completely. Whereas if this table format, you are easily comparing multiple visualization tools, what is their free version, what is their starting price, what is their embedded analytics, whether they are mobile supported or not. Every information is given in one single view. You need not click on any specific link here, and you need not go and read all that information. So that's how the visualization, that's how the information which is more filtered will have an impact on human tendency or human brain. So wherever the information is visualized, wherever the information is more clean and filtered, it is very easy to understand. And that's how the day-to-day life, that's how the day-to-day world works. Wherever there is visualization, wherever there is information being filtered, it is very easy to understand, and we might end up reading that information easily. Let's take a few more examples. Now, this was Lok Sabha election in 2024. Just a visual comparison. You can compare the other visual comparison also, India-Pakistan cricket rivalry. So these are all examples. Now you will have a question that what is the use of this? What is the use of this? You have this Power BI and other BI tools. So you can easily compare using Google Compare. You can easily visit the Google Compare and you can compare any specific two terms or maybe one single term also. So if you're trying to compare Power BI with any other BI tool, usually Power BI is a market leader. That is why it is always trending. Now the question is, you will see a downward trend here. Now this is just an analysis. It might go down or it might increase as well. This is just an analysis. In future, it might go down, or in future, it might end up increasing also. But if you compare Power BI with any specific BI tool, Power BI is always a market leader. It's just always a market leader. So just a comparison, this visual representation, with this visual representation, you can easily prepare a small note also that Power BI is the leading tool. We have compared it from June 2023 until today, that this is how the flow of information is. In the month of October 2024 or November 2024 also, still Power BI is leading. Now, how can I write this? How can I read this? With a single visual. With a single visual, I'm trying to check this visual, what this visual is trying to give you an idea about. And I can create my own lines that this is what I can compare. This is what I can understand comparing Power BI with any other BI tool. So that's how importance of visualization is. Now, if you take an example, I mean, just sake of this, I've created all these visuals, but if you take a look at this, if you take a look at this, I'll again go back, this table visual, the below table visual, which I'm trying to show here, this is a straightforward table visual. Okay, if you compare this news articles, these three news articles, the fourth visual or the fourth information, the table information is easy to understand. But if that same table is converted into a visual format, this is more a kind of visual format. Why? Because there are some colors, there are some flags, there is some cross sign and check mark sign. So it will give you a more better understanding, and it is very easy to compare any BI software also. So these are all the BI tools which are available in the market. AWS QuickSight, Domo, Looker, Power BI, Click, Sigma, Sisense, Tableau. So which tool is easily supported in which condition, all that information is clearly available. And this is a Power BI visual. This I've tried to create using a Power BI table visual only, where we have multiple options, where we can add flags, where we can add background colors, where we can add background icons. So every information can be easily visualized and understood. So that's how the importance of visualization is. If you go and read any specific information, if that information contains visual, if that information contains some colors, some background icons, it is very easy to understand. That is how the importance of visualization is. And it's a human tendency to understand any information which is present in the visual format. The same table is converted into this format. Now we will see a few more examples how visualization will have an impact. So just to get an idea, this is a pure text. This is a visual. So there is a text. I mean, you're trying to read a novel. I'm not sure how many of you are very interested to read a novel. Rarely anyone would go back and read a novel, but that same novel has a visual in it. That same novel has a visual in it. How visuals will have an impact? 90% of the information which is transmitted to the brain, our human brain, is always a visual information. So if you write a 10-liner text, and if you create a visual next to it, 10-liner text may not be easily understandable by human brain, but that visual is very easy to understand. So that is how the importance of visual is. 90% of the information transmitted to the human brain is all the visual information. And how visuals will be processed? It is 60,000 times faster than a normal text. So if you're comparing the speed at which the human brain understands any information, so a text might not be that easily understandable, but a visual is 60,000 times faster as compared to any text format. Now, the most important thing, if you're reading an information from a visual, and if it is very easy to understand, whether human brain will remember it for lifelong, 95% of the time messages, which is a video visual, which is a audio visual, or maybe which is a normal image visual also, people will retain that information. That means people will remember that information 95% of the times. And only 10% of the times, text information is remembered or it will stay with us. 90% of the time, the information would be vanished. So that is how the importance of text or a visual is. Now I'll take a pause. Any questions on this visual? Any questions on the visualization analogy, what we have covered? We will try to take a new example where it will give you a better idea that how visual plays an important role, just to make sure that whether you are updated with the current market or not. So I would be taking an example of Twitter or X. Let's forget about Twitter or X as of now. We will try to do an interesting discussion. Post that, we will try to compare this Twitter or X discussion. How this Twitter or X is playing an important role with respect to visualization. Let me try to take the day-to-day life example. Let me ask a question. How many of you, how many of you visit any supermarkets? How many of you would visit any retail stores? Maybe you're trying to purchase any household items, your grocery. How many of you people visit the supermarkets or retail stores? How many of you people visit? You can raise your hand. I'll try to ask a question on it. Let's say um, we have an option. I mean, we want to purchase the monthly grocery. We want to purchase a monthly grocery. So you will be given three options. One is the nearest shop, the Kirana shop. One is the D-Mart, which we have. And the other one is the what you call as a fast delivery chain. Now, fast delivery chain means you have Zepto, you have Blinkit, you have Big Basket. So all these are fast delivery chains. So you will be given three options here. Among these three, what option would you choose? Whether you visit the nearest store, whether you visit D-Mart, or whether you visit, or maybe whether you use this fast delivery options. How many of you choose retail market or which option would you choose?
Nearest
Which one
stores.
price and the distance?
So
D-Mart
Sabha
or
saying,
fast?
okay.
Based on how much what's how the pricing would be and also the distance.
Okay. Now the thing is, see, it's a monthly grocery. So somewhere the items would be large in quantity. See, the discount available at store, discount available at supermarket, discount available at fast delivery chains is all same. All the prices are same at all three locations. The question is, which option would you choose?
Fast delivery.
Fast
And why
delivery.
is the reason?
We can get the groceries as soon as possible, so no need of waiting time.
Okay.
We can
We
do
can save that time.
delivery bring, right?
Within the delivery time, we can do some other work in the home.
Okay. See, I'm not sure how many people are following this current market also. If you see the latest trend of DMart, now people who are from India, they will easily understand what this DMart is. It's a supermarket chain in India. Just like we have Costco and Walmart in US. So DMart is also a supermarket chain in India. The DMart market presence has came down by 20% since last 1 year. It is a drop of minus 20%. That doesn't mean that DMart has a loss. No, there is no loss for DMart. Somewhere, just an example, if DMart used to earn 1,000, just an example, if DMart used to earn 1,000 per day per store, now that amount has came down to 900. That amount has came down to 900. Why that amount has came down to 900 is many people are using fast delivery chains. Why? Because from your own location, you can order from your application. You can check whether the item is available or not, and you can easily book it. It would be delivered to you within 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Rather than going to a supermarket, get that trolley, make a list of it. You yourself have to get all that items. You have to make sure you are doing that billing. So it's a time-consuming task. Now, nearest store also, if you want to purchase anything which is a loose item, maybe you want to purchase only one single item, we might end up visiting nearest store. But nowadays, for one single item also, people are using this fast delivery chains. So that is how this fast delivery chains are impacting all the businesses in India. You take an example of any fast delivery chain. If you're trying to compare Big Basket. So Big Basket, somewhere Big Basket started almost 10 years back. Almost 10 years back, it started in India. But since last 9 years, the market was negative. It was negative for Big Basket. But since last 1 year, all these fast delivery chains have improved their efficiency. How they have improved? They have improved the time required to deliver any specific item. Earlier, even Big Basket used to take 1 day to deliver. Yes, if you book anything from Big Basket, it used to take 1 day or 2 days to deliver. But nowadays, Big Basket is also delivering within 10 minutes in India. Within 10 minutes, all that products which are available, it can be delivered within 10 minutes. And you can compare it with any Zepto, Blinkit, you have Swiggy, Instamart. So all these applications are delivering within 10 to 15 minutes maximum. Now, the very big question is it with respect to monthly grocery only, or only DMart is having an impact with respect to fast delivery chains? No, that is not the case. I'm talking with respect to Indian market. If you compare Amazon, if you compare Flipkart, so if you compare Amazon and Flipkart also, even these two big shopping websites or shopping whatever you can call it as a shopping website, you can call it as a India's biggest online shopping stores. These two companies are also facing a crunch in their market revenue. Why? Because if you visit Zepto, if you visit Blinkit, or maybe if you visit Big Basket, they are also delivering electronic items in 10 minutes. You compare your earbuds, you compare your earphones, you compare your batteries, anything which is easily available, the fast delivery chains are also delivering it within 10 minutes. So if you're trying to book it from Amazon, Even if you have an Amazon Prime, it would be delivered next day or maybe end of the day today. But if you order it from fast delivery chain, it would be delivered within 10 to 15 minutes. The revenue of Amazon there has been a dip since last 2 years. In India, the revenue of Amazon, there has been a dip. There is a drastic dip. Now, how many of you people follow the big billion day sale? We have big India, I mean, Great Indian Sale or Big Billion Day Sale. The sale, which was there in 2024, almost a 1 month back, when it was Dasera, we usually have sales around Dasera or Diwali. The Big Billion Day Sale in 2024 was not that effective sale. If you compare it with 22, 23, or 21, the sale had drastic decrease in the business. So why is it so? Because these fast delivery chains are even delivering electronic items which can be delivered within 10 minutes. Now, the very big question is, these fast delivery chains are only available in metro cities. Cities which has 10 lakh plus population, cities which has 20 lakhs plus population, only in that cities these fast delivery chains are available. Accepted. Once they feel the market presence is good, they would definitely enter any specific city. If it's a small city also, they would always target that small city as well. So companies like Big Basket, companies like Zepto, companies like Swiggy, Instamart were all having loss. These all companies were loss-making entities. The revenue was always negative. But since last 1 year, every company is making a good profit. Their market presence has increased. Their competitors, they have a very good competition with DMart. They have a very good competition with Amazon and Flipkart. Why? Because only 10 minutes it is taking to deliver. Accepted, there can be prices which are comparatively higher as compared to supermarket, as compared to Amazon and Flipkart on these fast delivery chains. But what people think is, rather than taking my own vehicle, rather than going there, wasting my 1 hour and getting that product, why can't I order it from here? Anyways, it would be same cost. So that is how market can be captured. You have to go back and understand the data. For a visualization, for a data analyst, it is very important to go back and understand what is the market, whether we are in trend with the market, whether our competitors, we are giving good fight with our competitors. You have to understand all the historical information, how you are comparing, how you are analyzing the data, and then you can come up to a conclusion using some visuals, using some graphs, that this is what the market presence is. Since last 1 year, fast delivery chains are improving their presence in almost every city which they are now currently operating. Why? Because they are delivering it in 10 minutes without any human manual effort. Accepted. There are people, there are delivery people, but the person who is ordering, he can sit at his home. That product can be easily delivered. So that is how the importance of any market is. This is just an example. The same example can be interpreted in Power BI using some visuals, using some background information. We can interpret, we can create a Power BI report, and that report can be easily visualized or analyzed. Now, let's take an example of Twitter. Anyways, we were comparing Twitter, right? So let's take an example of Twitter. Give me a moment. So let's take an example of Twitter itself. Now, it's just a case study. I have analyzed this information. We have also created some reports using this Twitter case study. So I'll try to show you this information in a visual also, in a Power BI format also, which we have created. So what were the challenges faced by Twitter in 2022 when Elon Musk took over the Twitter? So there was a drastic change in the market presence because Twitter had many fake accounts, many bot accounts also. So that was the first thing which Elon Musk had a challenge. What are the challenges? Getting the company to profit. This was one of the biggest challenge. Bringing back advertisers and revenue, because the revenue generated by Twitter was not that great. Use of Twitter was restricted to bot accounts or fake accounts only. Balancing free speech and hate speech. See, the fake and bot accounts, the bot accounts downscaling, and competitive landscape. So these are all the challenges which Elon Musk had when he took over X. I mean, when he took over Twitter, now it is called as X back in 2022. So how they have analyzed, Twitter board itself uses Power BI for creating reports. It is just easy. I mean, these are all the words given by Twitter advisory board. You can go back and check how Twitter advisory board is using Power BI on day-to-day basis. It is easy to show live data. I mean, you can use your phone also. There are only two tools. There are only two BI tools which are available on mobile. One is Looker, one is Power BI. Other tools, you have to log into a website. From that website, you can show it on a mobile. But these two applications, Looker and Power BI, have their separate mobile application which you can download from iOS Store, App Store, or Play Store. So Twitter Advisory Board, what they said is, my engineers just push the data to a data lake and I can hover on it with the help of Power BI for understanding the business. So if I take an example of report, this is just a Twitter analysis report. This report contains all the information. I mean, the information which was required from the Twitter's end, that information is clearly mentioned here. So how that information, where that information is coming from, I mean, there are two different tools, Power Automate and Power BI. So how these tools are impacting the business, I mean, where the information is coming, where the information is generated from. So all this information can be visualized in one single Power BI report. And this is how Power BI reports plays an important role. See, you can compare this part, this visual, which is in the below, this visual, the map visual. If I go here, where the information is being generated, for the Twitter advisory board, where that information is being generated from a Power Automate flow or from a Power BI report. So every country has a circular representation. With that, it is very easy to guess. Maybe that report is available with me, but this is just an image. If you hover on any specific circle here, it will give you the percentage bifurcation of information as well. That is how visualization have an impact on any specific business. You want to understand business, you want to improve your business, you have to have a business intelligence or visualization available. Once you can get your data, you can visualize it, you can take your decisions. So the importance of business intelligence, importance of visualization is very, very, I mean, it's the market strategy. You want to improve your business, create some visuals, create some report, understand what is your business, where we are lagging, and take some decisions which will help us to improve your business. So Twitter is one of the largest user of Power BI in current market. I'm not sure if anyone has their relatives, maybe your brothers and sisters who are based out of US, who are working in Twitter. You can always reach out to them. You can ask them that our Twitter folks or our X folks are using Power BI on day-to-day basis. Almost every division in Twitter is using Power BI. This is just an example. Many companies are using Power BI, which is nothing but a business intelligence tool, leading reporting or business intelligence tool in current market. So these are all the examples. And with this information, see, now the question is, what is this? The word or the information which I've written here. This was from a BI engineer who is working with Twitter since last 15 years. A person who was working with Twitter since last 15 years, he has easily written that Power BI is the latest big player. Okay, Twitter was earlier using Tableau. The spelling is wrong, but Tableau, Click, MicroStrategy, these are all the legacy tools. Many organizations are moving to Power BI because there are many benefits. We will see all the benefits also. But if you compare Power BI with any other tool in the market, every tool has certain limitation, whereas even Power BI has limitations. I'm not saying that Power BI is completely a standalone product which is all good in all the segments. There are limitations in Power BI as well. But if you compare Power BI with multiple aspects, might be costing, might be availability, might be understanding the Power BI UI, everywhere Power BI will lead. So personally, or maybe that person who was working with Twitter, the best BI solution ever he worked was Power BI. So that's how Power BI is improving the businesses. Just an example. This is just an example. This is just a table representation. The same table representation, if I try to show it using this picture, this is very difficult to understand. But if that same information can be done in Power BI, this is just a Power BI representation. So Indian smartphone shipment market. So how visualization plays an important role. If you take a look at this, it is very difficult to understand which brand has what market presence in India. But if you compare it in visual, it is very easy to take your decisions. So that's how visualization plays an important role. I mean, there are many examples as well. What this visual plays or what this picture gives an idea, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So as I've said, if you're reading a novel, only 10% of the information which you have read would stay with us for lifelong, or maybe in your memory. But if you're reading any storybook where all the visuals are there, that visuals will stay with us 95% of the time. There is a very low chance that you might end up forgetting some information. Why? Because a picture is worth 1,000 words. That is how visuals, that is how any specific table, any specific representation will have an impact on human brain. And if it's a human brain, any companies, I mean, companies also works with some individuals, right? So individuals are nothing but humans. So whatever humans understand, that is how the company will progress. So they can take decisions and they can improve their business. So just an example again, YouTube business case. I mean, I'm sure that many of you people see vlogs. So these are the products which are available on YouTube. You might see frequent advertisement of these products. You might see frequent advertisement of these music apps also. I mean, if you go to the, I mean, if you're comparing any specific product, which are easily advertisable on YouTube, if you take an example of this Listerine, you visit any dentist in India. I mean, this is a mouthwash. This is a mouthwash. You visit any dentist in India. You visit any dentist in India. No dentist would recommend this mouthwash. But 90% of the people will know this mouthwash because many people are watching YouTube on daily basis. And on YouTube, all these products are easily advertisable. Why? Because on YouTube, the information is given in picture format. If you're comparing a picture format, you would be, I mean, that information would be easily understandable by human brain. And even if the doctor is suggesting or not, we would always visit a stop and we would always say that I want to mouthwash with Listerine name. So any example you take in day-to-day life, wherever there is a visual, wherever there is a specific visual representation, that information is easily understandable. Then, so let me give you an idea. This is just a graph representation. Now you will have a question for YouTube only. This information is given from the, I mean, this information I've created a Power BI visual. This is nothing but an area chart. There are multiple charts and available in Power BI. We will see all that charts going further, but this is nothing but an area chart just to give you an idea which age group people are watching YouTube on daily basis. So if you take a look, people with age group 25 to 35 has the most highest views because these people are all Gen Z people. millennials, Gen Zs, even 15 to 25 are millennials and Gen Zs. Now, I'm sure that you know the difference between Gen Z and millennial. So people with age group 15 to 35, 15 to 25 and 25 to 35 has the highest views on YouTube. And maybe the age group with 75 to 85 are the older people. Their viewing time is comparatively low. Now we don't have any axis present here, but with this normal graph also, it is very easy to take your decision that which age group is watching YouTube. I mean, where
Guys, is it audible to you? Seems some network glitch. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. Guys, meanwhile, you have any questions and maybe we can discuss now. Harshit, Abhigna, regarding as of the session, what happened, right? Anyone have questions on Power BI related also? Like that examples which we taken?
Nothing from my side. Everything is
All
going
good
good.
now? Any doubts like Twitter versus X or else like DMart related alls or any questions on that? How the business actually running there? Any tech related doubts also we can discuss.
So I have a question, but we'll
Yeah.
discuss it after regarding staff. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. You can ask me.
Yeah. No, I'm telling I do have a question. I
You can
will
call
ask.
me after 10:30, then we can discuss.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, guys? If anyone have questions, maybe we can discuss now. Let's check with the... Any technical questions also fine. I will try to help you. Yeah, Ritesh rejoined. Yeah, Ritesh, you are able to hear you, right?
yeah, I have joined.
All good now?
Yeah, all good, all good.
Yeah, okay, then.
I'll start sharing here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, my bad. There was a network issue at my end. So this is just an example, just a visual example that how visualization will have an impact. Now, just a comparison. Um, are we learning the right tool? Are we learning the right uh, market? I mean, are we with the market trend? So that information we'll try to discuss. I mean, how Power BI, why not any other tool? See, what is the importance of data and analysis? First thing is, we have seen few examples. Wherever there is some business, there is some data. Wherever there is data, that business wants to improve the business. I mean, that specific organization, that specific company wants to improve their business, they have to go back and analyze the data. So that same example, see, just an example. I'm trying to compare Azure. Azure is one of the widely used cloud in world currently. I mean, there are many other cloud services also, but I'm trying to compare Azure. So Azure has market presence in almost 60 countries around the world. Now, out of all 60 countries, you can see USA market is 10% increase, India market is 20% increase, Japan market is 15% increase, Australia is 10%, Europe is 16%, and China is 35%. Now, what is the idea behind this? We need to first understand the data. And the Asian market is also minus 10%, except India. Now, if I want to analyze this information, what is the performance of Azure in current market? So in 2020, I mean, this is 2023 information, not 24. So if you take a look, what I've done, I've used the average performance of Azure. I've compared 7 different geographies here with all their information. So if you compare this, there is a loss of minus 3%. So do you think Azure revenue is going down? With this information, would you think the Azure revenue is going down? Again, I'll go back. So this is what the market share, or maybe this is what you can call the Azure business improvement in 2023 as compared to 20. So 10% increase, 20% increase, 15% increase. This is the Azure business. Now I'm comparing 7 different geographies here. So if you compare all the 7 different geographies, there is a loss of minus 3%. What do you think the Azure business is going in negative? There is a loss, right? Anyone?
No.
Why? I mean, how can you say that it is not going in loss?
Because, sir, the profit portion is more as compared to the loss.
Very good. See, for understanding any business, okay, we are taking an average, accept it. But if I do it, will Azure close their business in China? See, Chinese business is minus 35% loss. The other Asian countries except India is minus 10% loss. Accepted. But China, it's a restricted country, right? So only Azure has a presence in China. Even AWS presence in China is almost nil, whereas Azure has a good presence. Accepted, Azure has a presence, but revenue generated from China is very low. This is just a percentage information. But if you compare the profit percentage, I'm removing this minus 35, I'm removing this minus 10. There is a gain of 14% overall. Profit percentage is comparatively high. So this is how an information should be analyzed. You should not always jump to the conclusion that there is a loss of 3%. Accepted, but China business is very small for Azure. Okay, accepted Asian countries also accept India. The Asian countries doesn't have that much good presence. But if you take that minus 10 also here, if you're comparing that minus 10 also here, so 10, 20, 30, 45, 55, 55 plus 16, somewhere it would be 61. Sorry, 71. 71 minus 10. 61 divided by 5. Still, it is a plus. Still, it is plus. So there is always a gain in market. You should not always compare negative points first. First thing is you have to go back and check what is their business. Okay, there is a drop of 35%, but the revenue generated from China is, it might be 1 million only. Whereas revenue generated from USA can be 10 billions. It can be 20 billions. So somehow the information should be analyzed. Analysis of data is very, very important. Directly jumping to conclusion that there is a loss, Azure cloud is a loss-making revenue or loss-making entity? No. Except China and the other Asian countries, there is a very good increase of 14%. So analysis of data, understanding of data is very important for a data analyst. Right? So going further, what Azure has gained without Mooncake. Now, what do you mean by Mooncake? Azure is called as Mooncake in China. In China, it is called as Mooncake. You might rarely know this name. So as I work with Microsoft, I know few important names which are used in. What Azure has gained with Mooncake business? See, Azure, the Azure cloud is having a negative 35% profit, which is a loss, but accepted. If you take an example of any product, let's take an example. I'm trying to take an example of Amazon. Amazon has 10 products which it has listed. Out of these 10 products, 9 products are frequently booked by customers. And there is only one product which is rarely booked. Do you think Amazon will remove this product from its list? It will never remove. Why? Because what is what is the logo? What is the motto behind Amazon? Amazon always has this arrow. From A to Z, every product is available in Amazon. So even though the products which are not having a good sale, they will still keep. Because what is their motto? From A to Z, every product should be available on Amazon. Similarly, what has Azure gained from China? Azure has gained its market presence almost every part of the world, including China. AWS, no China presence. GCP, no China presence. Azure, there is a China presence. That is how Azure is targeting its competitors. They are not focusing on maybe accepted China business is negative, loss making. But what is their importance is completely capturing every part of the world. That is how businesses work. So in order to understand all this information, you have to do all these calculations. These calculations are done by data analysts. Folks who are data analysts have to do all these calculations. If you see the important points, Azure has a market presence since 2024, which is worldwide. AWS was not present in China until 2023. In 2024, they came up, they have set up their business in China just because Azure has business in China. So Azure's competitor is AWS. AWS growth is minus 45% as compared to minus 35%. And if you see, this is just a comparison. Azure reduces its loss from minus 70% in 2019 to minus 35% in 2024. Accepted Azure is making loss, but it has drastically reduced its loss percentage from minus 70 to minus 35. So that is how products are introduced. That is how companies are competing with its competitors. They need to understand the market. So how they will understand? With the help of data analyst. As a data analyst, it is our responsibility to go back, make some analysis, create some reports, generate some ideas, and give it back to the business so that they can take the decisions. Need of business intelligence, need of data analyst. Any questions? See, this was one of the straightforward example. This was one of the straightforward example how Microsoft Azure is capturing the world with its cloud presence almost in every part. There are many other countries where the Azure is not there, like some African countries, like some South American countries. Even there, the AWS presence is not there. Now, what do you mean by business analysis or business intelligence? Business analysis or business intelligence comprises all this information. So we would be learning all this information. Maybe we have to start with one of the steps, which is first step, this requirement planning and management. Then the second step is requirement elicitation, requirement communication. Now, many of you will have a question. What is this? Elicitation, what is communication? See, if I try to explain it now, it is very difficult to understand. But going further, I would be covering all this in detail. What is the role of business analysis? What is the role of business intelligence? How this will have an impact? How cycle of this business analysis works. This is just a cycle. First step, second step, third step, fourth, fifth, and this is the sixth step. So we need to learn all the steps as a data analyst, as a business analyst. It is very important to understand the business, understand the data, and then create the visuals or reports so that are used by business for their improvement. Now the question comes, the first step, requirement planning and management. If you take an example of data cleaning, see, a data may not always be clearly available. There can be some drawbacks in that data. There can be some data which is not missing. Now, if you take a look at this table, the gender is not clearly mentioned for each and every name which is present. Now, if I take a look at this, the role of data analyst is also to clean the data. For a data analyst point of view, it is also important to clean our data. Only then you would be creating perfect reports. So data cleaning is also part and parcel of requirement planning and management. Once that is done, you need to elicitate that data. That means you need to make sure the requirement is clear. You need to make sure that the information is crystal clean. There can be anything which is like this. The information is not clearly visible or understandable, but I have to make sure that the gender information is cleaned here. So it is the role of data analyst. Again, if you take a look at this, the same table, the names are same. But if you take a look, Ankit's age is 22, accepted. Hema's age is 300 months. What is this? Ideally, it should have been 25. So age should be always in years, not in months, not in year and months, not in decimal. So cleaning of data is also important from a data analyst point of view. So these are just two examples of cleaning data. Now the importance of business. See, there is a difference here. This is business analysis. These are the important roles which a business analyst or a data analyst has to follow. But whenever you're following all these roles, what is that process called as? That process is called as business intelligence, which includes analytics, which includes data mining, which includes visualization, which includes data tools and infrastructure. And with combination of all this, this will help organizations to make more data-driven decisions. So this is how business intelligence, this is how data analyst, this is how Power BI will have an impact on current world. Right? So we are almost good on what is business intelligence, how you can compare. Now, going further, for time being, I'll just give you an idea what is Power BI, what is exactly Power BI. The components of Power BI, we will try to cover it in tomorrow's session so that it would be easier to understand because it's almost 9. So I would be taking up with questions. If you have any questions, I'll be taking that questions first. But just to give you an idea about what exactly is Power BI. Power BI is nothing but a business intelligence tool. Until now, whatever we have seen, what do you mean by business intelligence, what do you mean by data, how data will play an important role for any organization, everything that can be managed and understood is, that can be done, that analysis, that importance, that cleaning of data, that every processing of data can be done with the help of Power BI. Power BI is nothing but analyze data. You can analyze data in Power BI, you can clean data, and you can visualize that data. So all 3 processes can be done in Power BI. If you're comparing Power BI with any other market tools, there are many market tools like Tableau, like Click. These were all the market leaders previously. Not today. Previously, these were all the market leaders. So the question is, why Power BI? Why not any other tool? These are the 10 important points which will completely make Power BI different than any other tool. Real-time information, cost saving. See, there is no geographic limit to accessing Power BI. It can be accessed from any part of the world. It can be easily integrated with Excel. Integration with multiple data sources. There are 100+ data sources which can be connected to Power BI. The second most tool which can be connected with most number of data sources is Tableau with some 60 data sources. So Tableau has 60, Power BI has 100. 40+ data sources are more as compared to them. It can be easily collaborated and shared with multiple people, the Power BI reports. So these are the 10 important points which will have a very good impact. Why Power BI? Why not any other tool? Now, just an example. See, this is a 2023 analysis which I've taken. Now, what do you mean by this graphical representation? This graphical representation is given by Gartner. Gartner is a company which kind of go back and analyze what is the market presence of these BI tools. They will do some analysis, they will do some research on it, and they'll try to create this quadrant. Now, what do you mean by quadrant? There are 4 quadrants here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you see, quadrant 1 is the leaders quadrant. In BI intelligence, that is business intelligence, Microsoft Power BI is the leader. Whereas Tableau, which is a product of Salesforce now, Salesforce have purchased Tableau. It is second product, and you can see the difference here. There is a very drastic difference. So even many organizations which are doing research and analysis also, they are also saying that Microsoft Power BI is the world leader in reporting in business intelligence. So that is the reason we are learning Power BI. That is the reason we are going back and understanding why Power BI, why not any other. Few important points and comparison of Gartner quadrant. Reason to learn Power BI. Now, there are many components in Power BI. Going further, we would learn all these components, but just to give you an idea, see, I'll go back to 2015. This is 2023. This is 2023. I'll go back to 2015. 2015 was when the Power BI was introduced. If you see here in this quadrant, Tableau is the market leader. Tableau is the market leader. Whereas Microsoft Power BI, even though it was introduced in 2015, it was directly placed in leaders quadrant. It was directly placed in leaders quadrant only. But you can see, click Tableau were the market leaders, not the Power BI. But plus 7 or 8 years or 9 years now, 2024 is 9 years. In 9 years, Microsoft has captured the market drastically. So this will give you a better clarity that we are learning the right tool. Yes. Going further, we would be learning what all components are present in Power BI. Definitely in tomorrow's session, I would be giving you an idea how to download Power BI, what all components are present, how Power BI UI works, what all features are there in Power BI, that all points we would try to discuss. For time being, I would close this session for today. Now the question comes, what is the duration of this course? What I would be covering? I see many people who have joined from SQL Batch, they already know. They already have an idea that what we would be covering in future. But just to give you an idea, people who would be joining for Power BI, give me a moment. So this is what we would be learning. So in this course duration is of 4 months. This course duration is of 4 months. We have, my bad. We have already completed SQL. Minimum 20 sessions, but we kind of covered 23 sessions in SQL. So we would be starting with Power BI. Power BI will have 35 to 40 sessions. Plus minus 5. Not minus, usually 35 to 40 sessions we would try to cover. For once the Power BI is done, we would be starting with Azure Cloud, where we would be covering all these concepts. We would be starting with what do you mean by cloud. I would be giving you an idea about ADF, the other services, cloud, other services, and bit of Databricks, Synapse, and Logic Apps as well. So duration is 4 months. As I've said, we have already completed SQL. Now people will have a question that, can I enroll for this batch? Definitely. If you enroll for this batch, there are many SQL sessions going on parallel with some other batches. So you would be added to that batch. If not, I mean, if you're not understanding parallelly along with Power BI, you're not understanding SQL, once you're done with Power BI, once you're done with Azure, a new batch would be started with SQL. You would be added to that specific batch. So I would be the trainer there again. See, there are two options. Either you can parallelly attend any other batch. If you're not satisfied also, again, you would be added to the new batch when I would be starting with SQL once this batch is done. So there are two options. You can opt both the options. I'm not saying only one option is open. You can parallelly attend SQL sessions. If you're able to understand, well and good. If you're not able to understand, anyways, you would be added to the new batch when I would be the trainer, I would be starting the new batch post 3 months. Now, as I've said, duration is 4 months, including SQL. The course fee is 30K. Now, the question, how do you justify this 30K? I'll give you an answer. Session timings would be 8 to 9:30 only. In the morning, 8 to 9:30 a.m. For this 30K, if you make one time, it is 27. If you're making 2 installments, it is 28. And if you want 3 installments, it would be 30 only, 10, 10, 10. Now, justification is we would be giving you Power BI premium per user license, which would cost us 2,000 Indian rupees or $20 per user per month for 2 months. So 1 month it is 2,000. For another month it is 2,000. It would be 4,000. So somewhere it would be 26K only, the course fees. 4,000 is being managed for this Power BI license. So that's the reason we are charging 30. As I've said, if it's one time, you can pay 27. If it is 2 times, you can pay 14 plus 14, 28. And if it is 3 installments, you can pay 10 plus 10 plus 10, which is 30. Now, anything related to payments, our KSR team would be the right, Mahesh or the KSR team would be the right people to guide you how to make it. But from technical point of view, I would be covering everything, starting with SQL. Anyways, we have completed for this batch, but you would be parallelly added to the other sessions also, where there are SQL sessions going on. If you're not satisfied, you would be again added to the old batch. I would be completing the Power BI and Azure, and then I would be starting with SQL. In terms of Azure Cloud, because the only Power BI is not recommended in current market. Along with Power BI, people are asking cloud. So that's the reason we are covering cloud. That too, more in terms of ADF, more in terms of services which are dependent on ADF, like ADLS, Blob, Data Lake, and some basics about Databricks, Synapse, and Logic Apps. See, these 3 services I would be covering basics, not in detail. Because if I cover all these 3 in detail, it would be data engineering and it will take 2 months. I would be covering it in 10 sessions because it is more a kind of, from a data analyst point of view, what services are frequently used from Azure. So that all services I would be covering. Now I'll take a pause. Any questions you have? Anyone, any questions? You can raise your hands. I'll be able to answer.
So
Yeah,
what do you mean by Power BI reporting? Only reporting part is covered or like
Sumit,
services? Yes.
everything in Power BI would be covered, not only reporting. I guess you already
Like
know. Anyways, we would be covering everything.
like Power BI services and
Yes, end to end, including Power BI desktop, Power BI service, fabric, everything would be covered.
so is there any part like pipeline deployment in Power BI?
Yes.
Will it
Deployment
be covered?
pipelines. It was part of service. It would be covered.
Okay.
yeah, I have one question.
Hey, Hari, yeah.
Yeah, actually, you said right. Tableau came first. It's for some time actually. Now the market leader is Power BI. So if I learn Power BI now, so how many years I'm not asking exactly how many years I can sustain with this Power BI in the analytics.
Okay. See, there are two ways to analyze how long this Power BI will sustain in the market. One, it is a product of Microsoft. Tableau was an independent company. Then the Salesforce, now recently Salesforce has taken over. So Microsoft is a very powerful company. The way they are introduced Power BI, every month you will get few updates. So what our market strategy assumes is next 5 to 6 years minimum. I'm trying to give you an idea minimum. It would be a market leader. So you can assume for almost a decade, almost 5 to 10 years, or you can assume a decade, Power BI would be market leader. Just some or other way, some other tool will come into picture going further. But until next 6 to 10 years or one complete decade, it will have a market presence.
Okay, thank you. And what about this Power BI Fabric? I'm hearing nowadays.
Okay. So Fabric, see, in simple terms, all the services which are available in cloud, that all services are clubbed in one single website, which is called as Fabric. For Fabric also, you have to pay some amount. It is not free. 60 days of free trial you will get, but post that you have to pay some amount. So whatever you learn in cloud, that can be utilized in Fabric also. It's one and the same.
Okay, thank you.
So here we will do any project on Fabric.
Yep. See, Fabric, it's a combination of Power BI service. It's a combination of ADF. It's a combination of Key Vault, all these services which are available in cloud, including Power BI service. So what we would be learning everything here that can be implemented in Fabric. I'll show how this works. Project would be standalone project on Power BI, standalone project on the cloud. That same can be implemented in Fabric.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Is there any real-time projects that you are taking up? Like what are the curriculum? Like what are the projects that we are going to learn, and what are the real-time? How many projects and what are the real-time projects? Can you let me know?
Now, let me make it more simpler for you. See, the project which I would be covering would be the current market project. But the thing is, the data would be dummy data. Now, you will have a question, why dummy data? No organizations will share their original data. All the data which I have, it looks like original, but it is not original. It's kind of dummy data. Or maybe data is masked there. The information is changed. So we would be covering 3 projects, around 3. I mean, 2 with only Power BI and 1 with Power BI and Azure. So you need not worry much on that. Anyways, even if the data is dummy, the project would be real time. So in that case, you'll never have a question that what we would be covering, what projects we would be doing will have a impact on your resume or not. You can mention that project directly in your resume. That guarantee we can give.
Thank you so much.
Sir, what all the certificates we'll be getting after this course?
Okay. So just a moment. So Mega has a question, sir, DAX would be covered. Yes. For DAX, we would have 6 or 7 sessions where I would be covering end-to-end DAX, almost 100 functions in DAX. Now, coming to the question, which all certifications are useful? From a data analyst point of view, I would always recommend to start with AZ 900. This is not compulsion. If you want to give, you can give. Then PL 300. These are two important certifications. And if you want to give certification Fabric, which is DP 600. So these three certifications are important. With this course, can I attempt? Yes, you can definitely attempt PL 300, DP 600. For AZ 900, we would be sharing you few dumps. So that would be very useful. You can go back and attempt AZ 900 also. Any other questions?
In these 5 demo sessions, is there any way that we can get content of the course?
Content of the course is available once you enroll. Even if you are not enrolling also, I mean, for first 5 sessions, how that course content is available, let me give you an idea. See, you need to visit to our website.
Okay, no problem. I thought it's handy that you can share it. Okay, no problem. We will visit you.
Handy. No. The question is not about handy. What we want is, we want people to log into our website. Once you log in there, the PDF is handy. You can download that PDF.
Okay, once after enroll, right?
Yes. Give me a moment. I'll show you. So once you mention your email, you need to mention your password here. If you're new, you can create an account. Right? Once you create your account, just a moment. Once you log in, so this is our website. So here, once you log in, you need to go to the Explore courses. In the Explore courses, see, this is the course, Data Analytics with Power BI and MS Fabric. This is the free preview of first 5 sessions. You can click on it. Once you click on it, it would open. Now here there is an option called as Enroll Now. Buy Now is only available post 5 sessions. If you click on Enroll Now, it would be added to your bucket.
Okay.
Right? So once this is added, see, Access Now. You can click on this Access Now. Yeah, so it will be redirecting into the course after a few seconds. Done. Course curriculum. This is the first PDF which you can see. You can download it. So everything which is mentioned here, we would be covering all in detail. So course curriculum, you can easily download the first PDF. There are few YouTube videos also, which were for the previous batches, which are kept here. But along with this, you can access your daily recordings in class records. If you go to this class record, see, our first session is today only, so it is not yet completed. That's the reason it is joined now. Once this is done, you can view recording after 1 hour. So this is access from the website. Anyways, this would be published to the YouTube also. You can access that YouTube video as
Will there be any interview questions and some discussion session?
well. Yes. We would be having interview questions, interview session, discussions. We would be having resume preparation. We would be having agile project management sessions. We would be having, there is a dedicated team which will help you to prepare your own resume. So you can create your resume, you can share that resume. If there is anything which can be changed, that team, there's a personalized team with case. So that team will reach out to you that this is what changes are required. They will personally guide you what changes needs to be done.
So, just regarding with the SQL, so are we going to have the session after this, like Power BI completion, or?
There are two options, as I've said. For every course in KSAP, there is SQL must. So SQL is common for all the courses, and everything which is covered in other courses also, SQL is same. So you can parallelly attend that sessions, live sessions. If you feel that you are not able to understand that live sessions, the second option is once this Power BI and Azure is done, you would be added to the new batch when I would be starting. So I would be the trainer again. So that you can opt two options.
Okay, so
What
it is
time
like
will
it
do?
will be a different session altogether. It is not like we will start with SQL first, then we will move to.
Okay, so we already started with SQL. That's the reason we already started. SQL is almost done. We are starting with Power BI. As I've said, if you're not satisfied with the live sessions parallelly, you can always have that SQL once Power BI is done. So it is not that SQL is must prior to Power BI. Yes, if you know SQL, somewhere Power BI would be 20-25% easy to understand. But yeah, that I can handle it. Maybe while explaining, I'll give you some depth idea. One who haven't attended SQL.
Okay, got it.
So it said it's a new batch starting for Power BI and MS Fabric, right? And saying that SQL is already done. So you're starting with Power BI now. So if there is a fresher joining this course, how would, without SQL knowledge, they
So,
should
and that
start
is what
with
I've
the
said.
Power BI.
That is what I've said. SQL is
But
not compulsion for Power BI. If you know some basics, well and good. If you are not totally connected with SQL, that is also fine.
so if they have to attend the SQL class, what time are
Okay,
what
see,
time do you have other sessions?
okay. So the other sessions, we have sessions going with data engineering, we have sessions going with data science and Power Platform. For all the sessions, SQL is must. So you can, there are multiple batches going on. You can connect with the KSR team. They'll help you which time is more feasible for you depending on availability. I mean, they will share you whatever time slots are there. So you can pick any one time slot. See, you can see now the third option. I'll keep the third option also open. Whatever SQL I have covered until now, that recordings would also be shared with you. So either you attend that recordings, either you attend any live session with different classes, different courses, or else the third option is once the Power BI and Azure is done, you can go back and attend the SQL session. So all three options are open. If you opt for all three options, still you would be given all three options.
Okay.
After listening this class, how much time minimum we need to spend on the practice and all?
For Power BI or for SQL?
On the Power BI.
See, once we will start with Power BI for 14-15 days, you can easily grasp Power BI. Post that, once we would be going to advanced Power BI, okay, if you folks are busy on day-to-day basis, you can utilize your weekend, Saturday and Sundays. So whatever we covered from Monday to Friday, you can utilize Saturday, Sundays for practice. But I would, always recommend to practice it on week-to-week basis. If you're practicing everything after complete Power BI is done, you will have many questions. That is not recommended. Okay, on weekly basis. If you get time on daily basis, well and good. If you're not getting time on weekly basis, you can. For first 14-15 days, it's very easy.
Daily 1 hour is must, right?
Yeah, minimum 1 hour. That is more than.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Any other questions?
You are starting any upcoming batch for SQL?
From my end, there won't be any sequel. After 3 months only, there would be sequel from my end. Me as a trainer. There are other courses which are going on. There, the sequel would be there. So that is what I've said. If you're not satisfied with that live sessions, you will get recorded sessions of SQL which I've covered. Even if you're not satisfied with that, you would be given the last option, which is when I would be starting SQL again after 3 months.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So don't know whether this is related question here, because there was a new video released recently that they're going to start another course on I think on 11th, which is just the Azure and Microsoft Fabric for those who already know Power BI.
Yeah. So that is only for
So
Fabric.
how is it different from this? So I mean,
Okay.
other than Power BI.
Okay. So there won't be any Power BI. There it would be directly with Azure. The ADF, the basics of Synapse, all that would be covered. And whatever we are doing here in Azure, that can be done in Fabric. That is what I've said. So Power BI would not be covered. That batch already completed SQL and Power BI. They are starting with Azure. For us also, once we are done with Power BI, we would be starting with Azure. There, if there are few people who wants to only join Azure, that people would be enrolled there. So that is how it works.
Oh, so it's the same after Power BI,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you've shown in the curriculum,
Hmm.
the same thing.
Yeah, same portion or same part.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Any other questions? See, anyways, this is first session. You will have ample time. Going tomorrow, you'll be starting with Power BI. Today is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. You have time till Tuesday. Once all 5 sessions are done, then only you can reach out to our team if you're satisfied. Our team will help you to enroll. What is the process, how it can be done, our team will definitely help. So take your time, make sure that you are able to understand what I'm trying to explain. You have any questions, note down that questions, you can ask me next 4 days. I would be able to answer all that questions. Only then, you can enroll for this. So you have that flexibility, you can take your time, and whatever I would be covering in these 5 sessions is not a dummy data, or I would not be reiterating again. It's all live. So we would be continuing after this 5 sessions, 6th session would be the continuity. So there is no as such 5 sessions or demo sessions, so it would be random dummy data or dummy explanation. No, it's all live. We would be continuing that from the 6th session directly. So I would not be starting again from the day. Any questions? Anywhere you're stuck? Anything which you have in your mind? Okay. Silence. Imagine it as no. Almost it's 9:30. If you still have questions, you can note it down. Park with questions. Try to ask me in next 4 sessions. I'll definitely answer. Yeah, take your wise call after 4 sessions only. So we would not force you to enroll after 2 or 3 sessions only. Neither there will be any force. So you have your choice. Go back, understand. If you are able to grasp what I'm trying to explain, you are free to enroll. You have that choice to enroll. You can reach out to that team. Right? Thank you, everyone. Assuming that there are no questions, we'll connect back tomorrow at same time, 8 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.